Hope you're feeling as great as me. It's the Luke Kelly Show, the Wednesday episode number 10. We're into double digits on this show. I feel great. You know why? The WWE brought me absolute happiness over WrestleMania weekend. Don't worry, I'm not going to get too deep into talking about WrestleMania weekend with you, but one thing that I'm going to do is talk with you today about feeling like a kid again. Because that feeling that I got over the weekend, it was just pure joy watching everything that I loved when I was a child. Everything brought back so many memories, seeing new things happen that I know was going to create memories for me for years to come. But the WWE does a great job of making you feel like a child. I'm sure you have moments in your life where you look back on and you're like, man, that was a great moment in my life. And whenever I think about that time period, it makes me feel like a kid again. Stone Cold Steve Austin hasn't wrestled in 19 years. But guess what happened? He came out and wrestled on Saturday for WrestleMania Saturday. And whenever you hear this, you know there's about to be some kick-ass stuff going on. There's going to be this redneck from down in Texas who loves to drink beer, loves to cause trouble, and stun everyone in sight. And we got that from Stone Cold on Saturday. To see him come out and do what he did against Kevin Owens was awesome. But the thing that put the cherry on the top for me that really made me feel like a child was seeing Vince McMahon get stunned one more time. I just love hearing this music. I'm telling you, it brings a smile to my face. It could be a TV show theme that you remember from a kid that brings you that pure joy. It could be the holiday season that brings you that pure joy. But for me, the biggest thing that brings me that childhood feeling is the WWE. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vince McMahon, they did a great job of making me feel like that again. Because that's the biggest reason I still watch. It was ingrained in me at a young age. Just because whenever I got sick as a kid, I would send my mom to the video store to go get some old WWE pay-per-views. Old WrestleManias, Royal Rumbles, Survivor Series. And I would watch them whenever I was sick. And I just loved it. I fell in love. And to still be an adult, to go back to a place that just makes you feel like a kid every single week, I feel good about myself. Like, yeah, it's still weird that I'm 31 and still watch it. But I'm telling you, if something brings you that much joy, why would you let that not be part of your life when it brings you all that happiness? That's why I watch it. I love it. I love the storylines and everything to it. But that overall feeling that's so hard to come by, especially when you become an adult, because there's other things that go on in your life. You need an escape from reality for a little bit. You want to feel like a child when you had no responsibilities in life. And getting that 3 hours on Monday night is awesome. Getting that 2 hours on Monday nights and once a month-ish, because the WWE changed their pay-per-view schedule. But to get that feeling twice a week, sometimes twice a week, and then once a month you'll get a pay-per-view. To get that feeling, I feel like is important for the soul. It brings you that happiness. What else brings me that happiness, that childhood feeling love the holiday season? Listen, I almost started to sing the holiday season. That also makes me feel like a child. Hearing Christmas music, because my mom would always be listening to it. 93.9 in Chicago is what we listened to when I was a kid. And it still plays Christmas music now. But we would drive around, go into the Lincoln Mall, If you're from Stager or the south suburbs, you know about the Lincoln Mall. You all went there to go see Santa, to go to Finish Line, to go to all the stores in there. Sears, back when that was a thing. Is Sears still a thing now? I don't know. But Christmas time, that's another one that makes me feel like a child again. The other thing that makes me feel like a child, this goes to food. And I feel like food, you could still eat like a child somewhat, but you can't really eat like a child, or else once you get older, you'll start gaining more weight. So you got to mix in a little exercise every once in a while when you eat like a child. And I do that from time to time. But having pizza on Friday nights, I feel like that's one of the most young, youthful things of your life, is when you would sit down with your family on Friday night and eat pizza. I remember doing that with my family. And I love eating pizza on Fridays. So sometimes Nora and I will grab a pizza and we'll watch the WWE. We'll watch Friday Night SmackDown. Yes, I'll put her through the pain of watching SmackDown. She likes it, though, from time to time. She doesn't watch the whole thing, but she doesn't mind watching it with me. So to get my pizza on a Friday night and now watch wrestling, watch sports entertainment, whatever the hell you want to call it, smile on my face. And especially, because I used to do this as a kid too, I would fall asleep on the couch. And then on my way to my bedroom, when I would wake up from falling asleep on the couch, I would grab a slice of pizza as I went back to my bedroom. And that's essentially what I do now. The pizza will still be out on the counter. I'll just be like, all right, I'll grab a slice before I go into bed for the night. Happiness. It's the little things that you could do in your life that makes you feel like a child again, that brings you that happiness. You need that. Like I said, you're too busy now thinking about so many life decisions that you have to make, so many life pressures that you have on you. And to have that escape is so, so important, man. It really is. And I'm glad I have those things in my life, right? But there's other things in my life that satisfy me. Of course, there's the whole relationship dynamic that Nora and I have. That gives me ultimate satisfaction, right? Because of our working relationship together. But I'm talking about things that you watch, or things that an act that you do that make you feel satisfied. One big thing, I found this out because I had a pimple on my shoulder blade, right? And I was looking in a mirror trying to pop this thing. I'm like, oh man, it's big, it's red. See that huge white head on it? I want to pop this thing. And I popped it. And all that pressure of that zit just oozing out felt so good. I've always thought that popping pimples feels good. Watching people get their pimples popped, that's even more satisfying. I used to watch Dr. Pimple Popper on YouTube before she got her own show on TLC. I used to watch all of her videos on there. I would go on YouTube binges of watching Dr. Pimple Popper for hours. I could sit and spend a Friday night after I get done watching wrestling of Dr. Sandra Lee, I think that's her name, popping pimples. And I would always look for the big, juicy pimples that she would pop, or the cyst. You see that a lot. And whenever you see all that pus come out, I feel happy for the person that's getting all that nastiness out of their body. I don't know if that's a weird thing that I find satisfying, or a lot more people find it satisfying. And I find popping people's pimples satisfying as well. Not only getting mine popped, but popping them for other people. And I know it's gross. I do it for Nora. I don't know if she wants me to tell you that, but I am going to tell you that because it's what I do. It's odd, but yet it feels so good. There's a lot of things in life that you would be like, oh, I don't really want to admit that. I don't really want to admit that, yeah, that provides a cool feeling for me. There's so many, people like ASMR. I don't know if you're into that, but people go on YouTube and watch ASMR all the time. Nora has found this chiropractor on TikTok where he'll mic up his patients when he's adjusting them, and he'll crack whatever he needs to crack. Could be the back, whatever, neck. And she loves the sound of that. She was like, hey, come here. I want to show you this cool video I found. I'm like, what is this? And I see the patient laying on the table there. And she goes, oh my God, you got to hear this. It's so satisfying. I'm like, no, I do not find that satisfying. It sounds painful to me. I don't know why it sounds painful to me, but it does. Maybe because I think of my body, like when I get up, I hear my knees crack and it doesn't feel the best. Maybe it's just me getting older and noticing things, starting to feel achy a little bit more and cracking a little bit more. Maybe that's why I don't. Maybe if I was younger, I'd find that stuff satisfying too, but no, I don't like it. It makes me cringe so much when I hear that sound. But she absolutely loves it. Some people like the blood and guts that you see on TV, maybe in a doctor's show. Nora and I watch The Resident. It's on Fox. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. It's like whenever it likes to show up, that's when it happens on Fox. But it's so funny. We'll always eat dinner and watch that show. And it's like, why are we putting ourselves in that position to have to eat and watch someone get operated on? See all the blood oozing out of someone's body and they're stopping it. A surgery's gone wrong and all of a sudden they have to hurry up and quickly fix what they did wrong. But they, it's TV. They managed to fix it up. I used to find that stuff really cool as a child. I remember watching ER as a kid and I was like, man, that stuff's really cool. But now as an adult, I can't stomach it. I had a coworker show me the other day a picture of of his foot. He was he was frying something up, right, with oil. I think he might have been I forgot what he said he was making. And he dumped the oil on accident all over the place, and the hot oil went onto his foot. He had his socks on, and the socks, of course, they're on your feet, and it just took off like a huge layer of skin on his foot, and he showed me a picture. The best way to describe this to you is when you see Two-Face in Batman, Harvey Dent. When you see him in The Dark Knight, like when he first gets the Two-Face, Harvey Dent does in The Dark Knight, and you see that side, and it's like it just looks like burnt flesh and bones in there. That's what this dude's foot looked like. I was gagging a little bit. I'm like, oh, dude, why'd you show me that? Why did you show me that? That is so gross. Some people might find that satisfying. That could be you. I would assume that doctors have to find that satisfying, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be able to do it. It takes a lot of guts to be able to sit there and operate on someone and seeing all of like the inside of someone's body. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like I said, I would throw up. That's why I never thought about becoming a nurse, a doctor, anyone in the medical field, because I know that I would not have been able to do that. Ugh. And yet I like watching doctor shows. Where does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. My brain is messed up. I keep telling you it is. But, it's all about feeling good, feeling comfortable, especially when you're at home. You have to feel very comfortable, right? Whenever you get home from work, you take off your work clothes, you put on your sweats, you put on your PJs. Oh man, there's nothing like it after a long day of work, is there? No. Some people, might put on shorts and a t-shirt, sweatpants and a hoodie. For me, that's what it usually is. I put on sweatpants and a hoodie as soon as I get home from work. Take off my socks, I take off my underwear, and I just want to lay down in my basement and feel comfortable the rest of the night. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like everyone has that when they get home routine. They get into something comfy. For women, you might take your bra off as soon as you get home. It's comfortable. You've been trapped in it all day. You want to get out of that thing. But when you have people come over to your house, you can't be looking like a bum-ass person. Now, listen, I I'm not against wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt when someone comes over, because I do that. But I hate having to like do my hair when I have sweatpants and a sweatshirt on. Because I feel like if my hair's not done, I feel like I didn't do my makeup for the day. I know, it's odd. If I don't do my hair, I feel weird. So I'll put on, I'll do my hair if someone's coming over. Luckily, I had friends over on Sunday to watch WrestleMania Sunday, but I already had my hair done from being at work. So I felt a little bit presentable. Kind of almost like I was in dress sweats, right? Dressing it up a little bit for people to be over. But there was one thing that I had to wear because I don't feel like this is respectable. Like, what's the best way to phrase this? You're not respecting your guest if you don't wear undergarments inside of the house when they're over. Like, I wore underwear for the longest amount of time that I ever have inside of my own house because I had a guest over. And I have comfortable underwear, but I just don't like wearing it all that often. When I'm at home, that's my time to be comfortable. That's when I want, honestly, I wouldn't mind walking around in my birthday suit all the time. I really wouldn't. But, there's those surprises that you get, the knocks at the door every once in a while, and it's the Amazon person, UPS person. You got to put on clothes for that. Because you don't want to lose out on getting something shipped to your house. So sometimes you just have to make sure that you have clothes on. So even though you don't have all of it on, you have enough on. Enough for you to feel comfortable in your own home. And like I said, it's not that I don't like someone coming over or I feel inconvenienced when someone's coming over and I have to make changes to what I find comfortable in my own home. It's just, it's different. It would be like you, and I don't know, maybe you do this, but it'd be like going to work with no underwear on, going to work with no bra on. Like, you wouldn't really do that. You probably wouldn't feel too comfortable doing that. I would feel weird. I know I would. Like, I don't want someone coming to my house and, like, seeing me in sweatpants and seeing the outline. Like, that would be awkward. And I feel like, underwear do a good job of blocking all that. But if you don't have any chones on, somebody's going to see it. And then you're going to make them feel uncomfortable. You want your guests to feel welcome in your home. You don't want them to be like, oh, man, I'm never going over to their house again. Did you see the way that looked at me? You don't want that feeling. Not at all. I mean, but I'll make those adjustments to have people over. I mean, hell, Sunday was the first time that we had people over in a very long time. We have like one person come over on occasions and stuff like that, but I had an old coworker come over. Actually, two old coworkers, two friends of mine. They came over on Sunday. Natalie and Matt stopped by. Matt came over to watch WrestleMania with us. Natalie, I don't know why she came over, but it was good to see her. It's always great to see her and have a good conversation. Her and Nora are really good friends now, so that's kind of nice. Enjoy having that, that friendship that we've built here to be able to have people over. But I don't even think they knew that each other were coming over. It was like a surprise. Like, hey, we're coming over, sort of thing, both at the same time. So it was fun, man. It really was. So the biggest takeaway of this show today is about feeling good about yourself, feeling satisfied about yourself, whether it be in clothes, whether it be about finding things from your childhood and that make you feel comfort, or strangely, oddly things that you find satisfying, like pimple popping or someone getting their back cracked, wherever the case may be. Just feel good about yourself. Go to those places that you need to go to in order to feel good about yourself. If you have to take yourself back to memory lane and think about the good days that you had, or if it's, playing video games, whatever it is, man, whatever you got to do to feel good about yourself. I mean, those are just the things that make me feel good about myself all the time. And there are different aspects of my life that bring me happiness, right? I want to be the most positive person. And I feel like if you can relive some of the moments or bring things into your life that make you feel satisfied, you'll be a positive person for the most part. And I know every day is not going to be the best day. It's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. Obviously, I have those days sometimes where I'm like, F you, I don't want to talk to you. But for the most part, I feel like, hey, yeah, that's cool. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. I'm in a good mood. And I want other people to feel that I want them to feel like they could come up and talk to me. Have that good personality where someone, even if you just meet them, they feel comfortable coming to talk to you. And that's how I want this podcast to work. If you've never even met me, I want you to feel comfortable listening to this show just because you like the natural art of the conversation. And I could sit down here and have a conversation with you for forever. But, you know, it's one-sided right now because you can't actually talk to me. You could talk to me through social media at Luke Kelly Show about everything that we talk about on an episode. Like, I don't mind talking about that. I'll talk to you about that on Facebook or DMs on Instagram or Twitter. Like, I'm all for that. I am. And that's about building a sense of community, building up a friendship. And that's what I want out of this podcast. That's it. Well, until Monday, you get into whatever brings you happiness. Stay out of trouble. Don't go to jail because then you won't be able to listen to this show. I don't know. Do they have podcasts available to listen to in jail nowadays? Need somebody in the inside to tell me that. But I'll talk to you on Monday, and thanks for listening to The Luke Kelly Show.